Today's show is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with the advertisers that fit your audience. That's Podgo at podgo.co. Podgo, that's where the pods go.
Hello and welcome to the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded at the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, located just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Hey, my name is Russ, and along with me remotely from, as Kyle put it, I think in the episode description last week, they're calling in from Babyland, is Kyle and Michelle. And my two favorite parts of your description last week were, I think that's where you put Babyland, and then the fact that Michelle thinks concert prices are too damn high.
Yeah.
I thought
was accurate.
As we've labored the point on the show, anything over $5 is too damn high for Michelle in concerts, no matter who's playing. So anyways, we kicked off season 4 last week, and we laid out that going forward, every other episode is going to be an album review, and we'll continue through the rotation as we have been doing, where Michelle will pick one. Next up will be Kyle, then myself. But this season we are adding in the mystery component, and what the listeners ask for, the listeners are getting, and we will have it open for crowdsourced album reviews, which will be fun. So this first one out of the gate for season 4 was a Michelle pick, and it is Kings of Leon's album Mechanical Bull, which is a later album in their career, certainly past when they kind of blew up and went primetime, blew up and the whole general public knew who they were. So that's going to be a fun one to talk about, and we will get to that in the second half. Over on the YouTube channel, we had a couple more videos come out this week. As promised, on Thursday, I did a video about some of the more rare 7-inch records that I have. Nothing earth-shaking or anything, but just some of the rare ones that I have, because I'm not a huge collector of 7-inch records. And then the one that came out on Saturday was just kind of a general discussion about vinyl snobs and some of the things I see in the online community. And the video is getting really, really good response. It's like a lot of the comments that have come in so far have been like, oh, thanks for saying that. Like I see the same thing too. I'm glad somebody said it. That's been pretty cool. So having said that, we did have our season 4 premiere last week, and that led to a bunch of feedback coming in. So let's get to it.
Feedback, Joe.
Don't worry about that. Right. There's rock and roll be without feedback.
This first voicemail is very much directed at a couple of people on the show. I won't name names. I'll just play the voicemail, and we'll go from there.
Hello, this is Seth making my grand return to the Infectious Groove Podcast. Hello, Michelle and Kyle. Can you keep this nice and friendly for now? And congratulations on baby Zoe or Chloe. I don't know. I forgot already. Anyways, congratulations on your child's birth and Michelle not killing it yet. So... yes,
Seth starts off his voicemail saying that he's going to keep it nice for now, and then immediately goes to 2 insults. So,
Sounds about right.
It checks out. It's in character. So let's hear what else Seth had to say.
Also wanted to tell us that Stripes in 2006 at the San Diego Street Theme Festival, and just be jealous or not, whatever. And I did want to call in because I was having a really hard time coming up with my lineup, and so I decided to make Seth Cella. So day 1 is going to be Mother Love Bone opening, followed by Temple of the Dog, and headlined by Soundgarden. Night 2 is John Lennon opening, followed by David Bowie, followed by Queen, who will be forced to sing Under Pressure together, whether they like it or not. So that's kind of where the consensus I came to on my fantasy contest. So I hope that you all approve of these. I guess I'll maybe find out when I listen to the podcast next week. but it's been a pleasure calling in again and breaking the streak. So have a good one, and I can't wait to hear you guys soon. Bye-bye.
So the only two things I want to address from that is one, yeah, I am jealous of pretty much anybody who got to see Jack and Meg together as the White Stripes. Like as many times as I've seen Jack and I've enjoyed the hell out of the shows, like seeing Meg and Jack together as the White Stripes is something that I didn't get to do. And I would have loved that. As far as, first of all, I love the fact that we have Bumper Fest and now Seth Chella, two different competing. Michelle, are you going to come up with a festival name?
No, that's too much.
Yeah,
That's too much. I went to Warped Tour several times. That's I'm leaving the festivals there.
Fair enough.
Also, I can't help but notice that Beyonce is not on his list of people, even though.
Oh my! I was just about to say something. He didn't even put Beyonce on the ticket. What kind of hype member is he?
So she must not be that good.
So you know that Homer Simpson gif where he's backing into the shrubs? That's what I'm doing in my mind right now, because I did notice that the Beyonce thing, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. Yeah, where's Beyonce at on your on
Also,
Seth
he's
Channel?
going to leave the voicemail next week, and he's going to yell at me and Kyle, and even though you said it as well.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah. Did we decide that's not fair?
Yeah, that's not fair.
I
I
see.
think he's afraid of Russ.
Lies. But I do like, though, if you notice, the first day of Seth Chella is got Mother Love Bone, which, by the way, I would love to have been able to see Andy Wood in concert. Like, the dude inspired so many people, and you hear all these stories about how amazing he was as a frontman. So, yeah, I would love to see Mother Love Bone. But then the next band on the ticket is Temple of the Dog, who is a tribute band to Andy Wood. So, like, so, like, I guess to not keep things, too serious, like, we'll just say Andy Wood had to, like, leave the show right after Mother Love Bone played, and then Temple of the Dog went out and did a tribute or something. I don't know. Do you guys, other than the obvious omission of Beyonce, do you guys have any other statements from Seth's voicemail that either of you would like to address at this time?
I mean, I don't know how he's going to force David Bowie and Freddie Mercury to sing together when, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. How would he do that? I don't know. Like, what are you going to bait them with?
Threats? I don't know. Financial threats? I don't know.
Well, they're already dead. So
well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of what we did was obviously fantasy picks. You know what I mean? Like, they're just based on ego alone. None of our shows would happen, I don't think.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
what if we trick them? Like, ooh, piece of candy. And then, oops, you're on the same stage.
So this is why you don't work for Live Nation, because
This is why I should work for Live Nation.
Yeah, you absolutely should. Man, how did that tour come about? That was Michelle was able to book that. Yeah, but how was she able to get it done? Oh, with candy.
Everybody has a weak spot.
Yeah, you got to figure back in the 70s when like some of those mega tours did happen, like Nugent and Rush, and things that were just casual back then. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe Robert Stigwood and the big promoters back then, maybe they just did use candy. And maybe that's a lost art, Michelle.
I bet it is.
Yeah, and yet again, you're the only one thinking of it.
But I am the first person to think of it.
Yeah, I would imagine. As far as written feedback goes, we had a lot of stuff shared with us. We had Dean from the UK continuing to listen to us and share feedback, which we always love. He says for him, he would take the Faces opening for Queen, which would be his dream show, which is, I can't disagree with that at all. And again, he makes reference to what I just said too. Like there were things that actually happened back in the 70s, like AC/DC opening for the Rolling Stones, things like that. They're like, some of these dream shows did happen back then. But Dean goes on to say, on a side note, I thought I was experiencing a mild stroke when Russ said he'd have 86 Queen as an opening act. What a cardinal sin that is. So, yeah, but I submit that if you said to Freddie Mercury, you're opening, he would be like, absolutely not. And then if you go, but for Elvis Presley, he'd be like, well, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Freddie would. Oh, boy, not so much.
No, you'd have to trick him.
And how would he do that, Michelle?
Well, what's his favorite candy?
Right. Yeah.
Gummy bears.
Yeah.
Your favorite candy.
Yeah. Kyle's like, all right, well, I win in this situation because either Freddie plays with Elvis or I get candy. Let's see here. Some of the other things was he said that he just wanted to throw out there that Freddie was in total awe of Prince as a performer. Speaking to your lineup, Michelle. So Freddie's assistant mentioned that he had one of Prince's concerts on VHS, and whenever there were gatherings, he would throw it in and thought Prince was one of the best. So maybe your show wouldn't be as hard to come by as we originally envisioned.
So does this mean I win?
Yeah. Reluctantly, he said. Oh, and then he goes on about the relationship. I touched on the relationship between like Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury, how that was a little contentious. And there was more than one song done. There was 3 songs done, but none of it ever got commercially released. There was, I think, one track did make a box set eventually or something along those lines. But saying the same thing with David Bowie, how there was way more music planned than just Under Pressure, but it just wasn't happening. But anyways, Dean rounds out his message by saying, I'm buzzing to see what this season has in store, and congrats on the new addition to the podcast. So I thought those were 2 nice things to end out his message on.
Okay.
And Nick Fowler from the Vinyl Den left another great piece of feedback for us. He says, I never got the chance to see Pink Floyd live, although I do have my tickets for Roger Waters next year. So for me, it would be Pink Floyd on the In the Flesh tour from 77 as the main act. And opening, and this was difficult for me to pick, would be Jethro Tull from the Benefit Tour in 1970. I'm not a huge Jethro Tull guy myself, but I understand why people love them, and I know Nick does. Like, Nick is a really big fan. But I have to back it. If I was going to put Pink Floyd on my list, it would either be the Wall Tour or that Animals Tour from 77. Just absolutely fantastic tour, so I would agree with that as well. James Porter says, welcome back. Great episode. I would pay twice what Michelle is asking for her show, but I do need some clarification. For Michelle's show, would that be a metric or imperial fuck ton of people in the crowd? So, Michelle, we'll stop off there. I know you did address this on Facebook, but for the listeners, is it metric or imperial fuck ton?
I think I said it was a metric fuck ton.
Okay.
I don't know what this imperial bullshit is.
Yeah, I was mildly confused by that as well. I wasn't going to point that out, though. Having said that, he said James does not envision Prince and Freddie being able to get along. He says that Prince would come into the situation pissed off that he was opening for Queen, and the only thing that Freddie and Prince would agree on is the fact that neither of them wanted to work with Michael. So, I get that. We had John on our Facebook page said that Prince and Elvis would be his dream show. I would attend that show. Jessica says that her dream show would be Jimi Hendrix and Prince, and she didn't say who would open for who, but I feel like a lot of people would say Prince would be the headliner, but Prince wouldn't be Prince without what Hendrix did, so that'd be interesting. And then Jeff said his dream show would be Elvis and Michael, which I totally agree with. Mike Downing brought one that made me literally laugh out loud last night. Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle, that's Chicago Mike.
Okay, thanks.
He said Machine Head era Deep Purple, so that's 1972, opening for a coked up Fleetwood Mac, 1979 and 1980. And
then we're all sleeping with each other?
Oh, yeah. Like, he mentioned specifically the Tusk era, which is the album after Rumors. So, like, take what you know of Rumors and how they all already hated each other, and then know that they're touring for the album after that where, like, they all hated each other even more.
Right on.
In any case, that was some fun feedback that everybody shared with us, which we always love. You can get at us on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also leave comments on the YouTube page. But I didn't even call this out on last week's episode, so it was super cool that Seth used it. We do have the voicemail line that you can leave us a message at any time at 313-364-9899. If you have any feedback on anything we discuss on the episode, make sure to call the hotline and leave us a message, and we will do our best to play the message and give you some feedback. Moving right along. Our jammies. I've got all three from the 90s actually, songs that for whatever reason have been stuck in my head, so I've been listening to them a ton. 2 of them I hadn't even heard in a while, but they just randomly bounced into my head. Like, it wasn't even like I heard them on the radio or in public and they got stuck in my head. One is a song called Down Incognito by the band Winger. You know, their first 2 records are like as hair metal gets. Like, every derogatory term someone's ever meant the way hair metal, that's the first 2 Winger records is like, that's exactly it. And then the third one's like not an alternative album, but it's a lot heavier, the lyrics are a lot better. So I've had that song stuck in my head, and that'll go on the playlist. And then the other day I was driving along minding my own business, and SiriusXM played I Want You by Savage Garden. So the song started when I was pulling into the driveway, and then I sat there and took in the glory of all 4 minutes of that song because I hadn't heard it in a while. Because like if you ever do hear Savage Garden, it's like the other hit. You don't hear I Want You a lot. So because of Chicka Cherry Cola, I had that song stuck in my head for like a solid day, because it's just an easy earworm to get. And then the other one's completely off the wall from those two, and I hadn't heard this song in like, I don't know, 20 years. But out of nowhere, I got Breathe Again by Toni Braxton stuck in my head, and it just wouldn't go away. So I had to listen to that, like, I don't know, 20 times yesterday or so to hopefully get it out of there. So 3 weird older cuts that have been in my head, and at least one of them I know what the source is for. The other 2 I have no idea why they came in there, but they'll end up on the set list and then be stuck in everyone else's head, or on the playlist rather. So having said that, moving along, Kyle, what kind of jammy jams do you have this week?
Actually, not full albums this time. Logic released a new single, and before this he like supposedly had retired from rap or whatever, so he hadn't put out anything in a long time. But the single is called Vaccine, and holy shit, is it awesome.
Wait, I'm sorry. I know you said it wasn't full albums you were listening to, but it's this is just a single. It's not an EP or anything.
Yeah, it's just a single because I guess he probably is going to put out an album at some point, but he like retired like last year or whatever, so he hasn't been doing anything mainstream or anything. But if this is what's going to be coming forward, then I would like to see another album.
Right on. It's called Vaccine. How do you think he came up with that?
Yeah. Not sure. Yeah, his microchip might be wigging out or something.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get now. Is they're going to control what art we get through the microchip, right?
Yeah.
Right on. What else you got that you've been listening to?
This is an album I mentioned previously, but it's Moneybagg Yo.
Uh-huh.
It's called Certified Neptunes, and it's featuring Pharrell, and it's produced by the Neptunes. And holy shit, awesome!
Right on. Like, is it all along the lines of old Neptunes, like old NERD stuff, or does it sound completely different?
Oh, it's not. Like, so most of NERD stuff is like kind of like rockish,
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is more of, I guess maybe Pharrell just produced it. I don't know if they might have just used the term Neptune as because Pharrell's involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it was just produced by Pharrell, but it definitely sounds, when you listen to it, you can definitely hear that it is produced by either him or the group of them.
Now, let me get out the Kyle scale here. On a scale of happy, which I think is your 0, to say She Wants to Move, which has got to be around a 10, where does it fall in your Pharrell scale?
It's high up there because if he didn't produce it and it didn't sound the way it does, then I think that I would like it less because there just isn't much like substance to it. But like he makes it sound so cool. Like it just sounds awesome.
Well, dude, we've talked about that a lot on the show, man. Production matters. Like there's a lot of songs that aren't that good, but they're produced so well. You're like, well, I'll listen to that again.
And the Neptunes and Pharrell and NERD, all of those guys are all known for making things that sound different than anything else that you've been hearing, and that's definitely what this track sounds like. It's just different.
Right on. What was the name of the track again?
It's called Certified Neptune.
That's right. Okay, sorry. I knew Neptune was in the title, but I couldn't remember the rest of it. So mostly those 2 cuts, or do you got more?
There's been other random stuff, but like mostly, if I'm in the car or whatever, I'm probably one of those 2 songs that's going to be on.
Right on. Michelle, I'm sure you have something earth-shaking and groundbreaking to share with everyone this week, and I'm so bummed I can't see your face when this is happening, but I have to assume you're shaking your head no at a guess. What are your jammy jams?
I really had time to listen to that record this week, so that's it.
Well, the Kings of Leon record is slotting in as your jammy jams?
Yeah, let's count it as both.
Fair enough. That makes sense. So when we get to the album review and we talk about like what our best tracks are or whatever, your best tracks are going to count as your jammy jams?
Yeah, I'm just going to put the album on there twice on the playlist. Like once for my jammy jams and once for the album review.
That's fair.
So,
I guess I would second that too because I've been listening to the album a lot because of this episode that we're doing. So there is that too.
So 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that track list this week, the playlist for the Infectious Group podcast is like 40 tracks long. Yeah, well, 30 of them are the same album. Yeah. Oh, oopsie. Cool. Well, that is the first half of the show. I'm going to take us to break. When I get back with Kyle and Michelle, we are going to talk about that album in particular. It's so good, it's on the playlist 3 times. The Kings of Leon album, Mechanical Bull. We will be back in a minute. You're listening to the Infectious Group podcast on the Odd Pods Media Network.
bin 9.
Science!
Cannabinoids. Genetics. Coronavirus. Dogs!
This is Petri Dish.
We're a science podcast exploring complex subjects with clarity and evil humor.
Join the scientific revolution.
Join Petri Dish, dropping every Monday on anchor.fm/Petri Dish.
Hey, I'm Pantsless Aaron.
This is Stevie.
And I'm Augie.
And we are BFYTW, a podcast all about playing games and having fun. Our games are usually based on British panel shows and game shows, but we'll play anything that captures our attention and imagination. Why? It's right there in the title.
You'll never guess what the F stands for.
We are back, and we are going to talk about our album review. This week is featuring an album by Kings of Leon from 2013, the album being Mechanical Bull. So let's get into that.
The Infectious Groove Podcast.
Album review.
Oh, I'm sure I'll say something dumb.
I'll never not laugh at that. Yep, I will never not laugh at that. So, having said that, I mentioned just now that this record that was picked for us is Mechanical Bull by the Kings of Leon. This came out on September 20th, 2013. This is the Kings of Leon's 6th LP, and it's a 2 after where they really broke. Like 2 albums before this was when they went from no one knowing who they are to everyone knowing who they are. And that one particular record blew up quite a bit. Michelle, what outside of convenience and the fact that you know this album pretty well, what was there any particular reason that you leaned towards picking this for the album review this week?
So I will say that Walls is my favorite overall record by Kings of Leon, but this has my favorite Kings of Leon song on it. So that's why
And you'll have to help me on this. Walls the next record right after this?
Yes.
Okay, because I do own Walls, and I will say I haven't given that album anywhere near as fair of a shake as I should. I own it, and I've listened to it 2 or 3 times, but nothing grabbed me in like the first 2 or 3 listens. And I just think it's a victim of like the collection, you know. Like I think it got passed over. Like I know for a fact I have great disdain for their latest album.
Right.
But Walls.
They come out on Sundown too, right?
Oh, I love you. Oh yeah. I own Come Around Sundown, and I love that album too. But in any case, I don't think I gave Walls a good chance, but I love these 2 records back to back, Come Around Sundown and Mechanical Bull. So, having said that, it's not your favorite Kings of Leon record, but it does have your favorite song by them on it. So that was biggest reason for the overall choice.
Yes, that's why I picked it, because of the one song.
Right on. I think I know what your favorite song is going to be on here, but I think it's in. I picked out 3 tracks. To be honest, I love this album. And for favorite tracks, I almost was going to be like the whole thing. But, you know.
So that's the 4th time around for the playlist.
Yes. Let's see how far we can get it up by the end of this. My personal best tracks for this record, in a sea of fantastic tracks. I love A Comeback Story, I think is amazing. Beautiful War is the one that I would guess is your favorite song. And then I don't know how anybody's going to feel about this particular song, but I think Family Tree is not only one of the best songs on this record, I think it's one of the best and most unique songs that Kings of Leon has done in general. So those are my 3 favorites. Was I even close on Beautiful War, Michelle?
Yeah, that's it.
Yay! Hooray! How about that? Having spoiled one of Michelle's best tracks already, let me slide over to Kyle. Kyle, what would you pick out as your best tracks on this?
Beautiful War is my favorite song off the album as well. I don't even think I even heard that song until Michelle had played it for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god damn, this is a jam.
Yeah.
But other than that, Temple, Wait for Me, and Family Tree are on the list too, man. They all come in sequence right after Beautiful War too. So
we labor on this show a great deal. Track listings. I have one minor gripe with the track listing on this record, but other than that, it's a case study in how you put songs that flow together that way. Like you said, the mid section of this record does exactly what it's supposed to do. Like it keeps your attention through that whole midsection.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not one song, I mean, not to spoil it, but there's not one song on here that I like skip over, or we have the vinyl and it's 2 LPs.
Yep.
Or 2 records, and you can just put in any side, pick a record, pick a side, and it's amazing. There's nothing that I would be like, oh, don't play this one song on this one side. Like, just Fine.
Yeah. Okay, put that side on, but start with track 2. Yeah, no. Yeah, there's none of that. I totally agree. What are your favorite? We already established Beautiful War. What are your other favorites on the record, Michelle?
I would like to say that I do like, first of all, I like that Super Soaker. It's not one of my favorites on the record, but I do like that. I think that's a good song for them to start the record with. And then my bangers, Beautiful War, Wait for Me, Comeback Story, and On the Chin. I like On the Chin, and I think that's a good way to close the record with that song.
Yeah, see, and that's I don't dislike the song at all, and like you said, it is a great way to close the album out. And again, I think both of you had Temple on your list.
No, I didn't. I don't dislike it, but it wasn't one of my bangers.
But Kyle, you had it on your list, right? Temple.
Yeah.
What a jam! It's like the more we talk, the more I'm going to be like, okay, it's just my favorites are the whole record. You know what I mean? Like it really is. It's a solid record. So I think we kind of. Well, my guess is that we're going to go through the next question very quickly. But for me, this is a stinkerless album, a no stinker album. Michelle, I have to assume there are 0 stinkers on here for you.
0 stinkers.
0 stinkers. Kyle.
I was trying to find one. I was like, let me find one track that I can talk bad about. And there isn't. I literally was looking for one. I can't find one that I'm like, I would skip this song.
So it's funny.
No, there isn't one.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I tried to do the same thing too, and then I second guessed myself, and I was like, "Are you being a dick? Because this is Michelle's pick." And I didn't. But first of all, I wasn't even successful in finding one, and second of all, that thought did cross my mind. I was like, I wonder if I'm just being critical of this because this is Michelle's album pick, but no, I couldn't find one either. Kyle, how are we looking at? Are we going no stinkers on this, or do you have something on here you don't care for?
So I will say when
when
she chose this record, I was like, oh man, I don't think I like that record. I'm just not a fan. And then I put it on, I was like, oh, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
I'm completely, I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking or talking about, but after listening to it, again and again, I for one thought, how in the hell did this band put out 3 albums before anyone knew who they were?
Yeah.
And holy shit, this album is fantastic, and there are no stinkers.
Oh boy, everybody! I think this might be our first certified triple no stinker.
I do believe that's it.
I'm gonna have,
and that's surprising that it's this record. I obviously enjoyed it, but I thought for sure you two were gonna find something wrong with it.
So here's my thought process on the record, and then we might as well take this into the open discussion. Is okay. So when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I know. I love that record, and I haven't listened to it in a while. And then I assumed that I was gonna even just looking at the track listing, be like, oh yeah, I remember not liking that song or whatever. But even just looking at it on Spotify before I came downstairs to spin it, I was like, oh, that's a jam. Oh, that's a jam. Oh, that's a jam. Wait a minute. Maybe I love this record more than I remember. You know what I mean? That was the first thing was I was like, maybe I love this record more than I remember. And then Kyle said it wasn't even like I was like, oh, maybe I won't like this, but I just every track in a row, I was like, damn it, I love this record way more than I remember. And I've never had an aversion to it. I never thought of loving it as much as I do. Right.
Right.
And then for you, Kyle, that's pretty much the thing was you were just kind of you totally could have gone either way for you, but then the record's so strong that you were like, yeah, this is the shit.
Yeah, and the name Super Soaker, I fucking hate that for some reason.
Me too.
I don't know why.
Me too.
It has nothing to do with the song. I like the song, but the title of the song, it bothers me. It sticks out every time I look at the track listing. And I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Yep.
But then I listen to it, and then it just, I get lost in it, and I just keep listening, and I'm like, okay, I don't even care that that's named Super Soaker. This album is fantastic.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I love the record before this so much, Come Around Sundown, and when Super Soaker was the first single off of this record, and as soon as I even heard the name, I was like, damn it, but then it's a great song, right? But that leads me into so here's the only complaint I have about the record is that, and this isn't a complaint with the album per se. I think Super Soaker is a great first track, but a terrible first single. I think this.
I can agree.
Yeah,
there's way better songs that would have been better singles.
Super Soaker could be that's third or fourth single, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other songs this record could have been launched with. If I'm being 100% honest, I think there's going to be a lot of listeners that are going to see our tweets about this, like, when the episode comes out, and be like, why are they reviewing that album? Because this is so under the radar. Like, no one cares about this record, right? And I think that's because that Super Soaker was the lead single. And it's a great song, and it's a great album opener, but it's not the way you introduce this album to the world.
No, I completely agree.
To me, that title, the name Super Soaker sounds like it could be like a rap song or something.
Yeah. God damn it! Now next week we're gonna be like, Kyle, what's your Jamie Jams? You're gonna be like, there's a rapper called Super Soaker. I didn't know. It turns out his shit's legit. But so like my thought on that is like, pick a song, man. Family Tree, Comeback Story, Temple, any other. You could pick almost any other song off of this. And I feel like it would have done well at radio. And then when people buy the record and it kicks in with Super Soaker, great first track after you're already committed that you're going to want to hear this record.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I feel like that complaint is still legit because this is just me, but when I think of albums, I think of the whole thing, like how it was released, how it was promoted and whatnot. So it's not the fault of the album that that song became a problem, but it's definitely a fault of, like, I feel like so many more people should know this album and no one does, and I feel like it's a result of that.
I agree. I feel like it gets lost in the mix, like because there's they put out a lot of the same music. Like, I could see people being like, oh, it's another one of Kings of Leon's records, like, and it is, but it's just good on its own, like, I can see how it could get lost on people. Like, they just don't care.
Right.
They've heard all the other stuff that they put out.
I couldn't agree more on that. And I feel like Use Somebody and Sex on Fire from 2 albums before this were so huge that probably the general public was like a little burnt out on them. And then they put out Come Around Sundown, which is also a fantastic record. But I feel like by the time they got to this record, the general public was like, it's similar to what you're saying. Like, okay, been there, done that.
What was the single off Come Around Sundown? I wonder if, I feel like people don't listen to that record nearly enough either. So I wonder if it was just like a victim of poor singles off both of these records.
That is kind of weird because their music all very much sounds alike. So if you like Sex on Fire and Use Somebody and that album, then why wouldn't you have continued listening to the other albums that came after it,
Yeah. And that's my thing. My message for this episode is, if you are looking at this and you love Use Somebody and Sex on Fire and then you fell off and didn't get to this record, like, my message from this episode is, you screwed up and go fix that.
Yeah. I do think that Sex on Fire and Use Somebody was so overplayed that people got so turned off to Kings of Leon. I know people personally that, like, I came in after, like, Use Somebody, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna, like, do their entire deep dive of their catalog, and then like played it a lot. And a lot of people are like, how are you not sick of them yet? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it, but I know a lot of people are like, I just can't, like, every time you turn on the radio, every commercial, everywhere, that's, it's just these 2 songs. And so I feel like a lot of people definitely jumped off the boat at some point.
I wonder if it's a timing issue too. Like, so you don't really hear any Kings of Leon on the radio anymore. So it's like, and all their music sounds the same.
Yeah.
And so now, like, a lot of the, like, Maroon 5, and they're all doing, like, these pop songs that are not, like, Kings of Leon is, like, in between, like, good rock and, like, pop. And there's no, like, right now I don't think there's any kind of music like them that is commercially, like, on the radio or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's also hard to find a home for that too, right? Because, like, not Radio for One here, but, like, every city has a rock station. Like, a major market city has a rock station. Here in Detroit, it's WRAF, and you guys know, from even if you just go past WRAF and you hear what they play, a traditional rock station is not going to play. Like, they're not, Kings of Leon are not rock enough to get play on a traditional rock station. But they wouldn't find a home on the pop stations that are going to play Britney and Gaga. You know what I mean?
And I think when Sex on Fire and Use Somebody, when those 2 singles broke, there was an opportunity for that kind of music to be, like, very popular, and they fit right into there, and then it went away just as quick as it arrived.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Okay, I have one giant plus for this album, and then one drawback for the album for me. And the drawback is kind of more or less like an umbrella thing for Kings of Leon, but the production on this record is fantastic. And Kyle, did you do your first listen to it, Kyle, on vinyl? Like, did you listen to it straight through on vinyl?
Yeah, well, me and Michelle previously listened to it on vinyl, so yeah, the first time I had ever heard it was on vinyl, yeah.
Okay, so as you guys know, I mean, I'm a huge vinyl collector, but I'm not the guy that sits back and says, oh, you haven't heard that till you've heard it on vinyl. Like, I would love to play most albums for you on vinyl so you can hear it, but this album is one of those that makes a case for how good an album can sound on vinyl. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds huge, the production on it.
Yeah.
And for me, that draws me in. So that's a huge plus. Like, I assume you guys don't have any drawbacks to the production overall, right? I assume both of you dig the way the album sounds.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It sounds great, yeah.
Okay, so here's my drawback, and this is overarching for Kings of Leon. And this, I'm going to read you my exact notes, as I often do. Stop mumbling, dude. Like, lyrics are a huge. I mean, you're talking to the world's foremost authority on Roger Waters, right? Like, lyrics are a huge thing for me, and when I can figure out what in the hell he's saying, they often have great lyrics. But a lot of times, I can't figure out what this dude is saying.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just damn, like because I can't stress enough. Like when I figure out like lines that I go, damn, wow, what a great line, and then it makes me be like, well, what else am I missing? Like,
yeah,
it's almost like he's eating a sandwich every time he records a song.
Holy cow, man! I don't think I could describe it better than you did. Like, it does. It sounds like the dude just has like a stack of PB&J next to him, in the studio, and just goes to town. Like, oh, I'm gonna need 14 sandwiches because we're cutting out 14 tracks today. Like, I just damn, man. And everybody's got their own style. I like there's whole sections of MJ albums when he's doing the angry MJ. Where I'm like, what did he say? But.
So part of the reason for that, I think, for one, it's a very widely known thing that they're big drinkers, right? So there might have been some booze involved in recording all of these songs.
Sure.
What?
Yeah.
And also, they're from down south, so I think that there may be a southern draw, southern accent involved in there to make things seem more hard to understand.
Sure. Yeah, the combination of any accent and drinking is generally not good. And a southern drawl tends to be a mumbling situation in the first place, I'm going, you want to? You know what I mean? Like, take that and then put it on alcohol. And I totally understand that.
And then add a sandwich in, and you get the
yeah. Then throw a sandwich in the mix, and we got a problem. So that's my only. I see you guys don't. Other than that, I mean, you both agree with that issue. Do you guys? You don't have any drawbacks on the record as a whole, right?
No, I tried to find some and I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, you're just that good at picking albums, Michelle.
And like I told you, I thought going into it, I was like, oh, that's that album I really don't like very much, and that is, like I said, not true at all.
Yeah, that's a cool situation to be in. Even for me, I was like, oh, I remember liking that. I haven't listened to it in a while. And then every new song started, I was like, God, I love this song. So. We always ask, would you buy this album? Most of the time, if Michelle hasn't bought the album in her life prior to it, her answer is no, that she would not buy the album. With this particular one, all three of us have purchased it at least in one, maybe two formats. So I guess let's rework the question. Would you tell other people, like if somebody is a casual Kings of Leon fan, or like Kyle said, was like, oh, look, I just don't, or maybe Michelle said it, how are they not overplayed for you? Would you tell someone to go out and throw down, whatever CDs go for now, $10-15 and blind buy this and listen to it?
Absolutely.
For sure. Kyle, how do you feel?
Yeah, I would tell them to go buy the record, though, not the CD.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, I'm always walking the line and trying not to be the vinyl snob, like.
What's on the record player?
Well, then they can buy the CD.
I'm talking to Kyle. I tell them to buy the record.
Kyle, are you recommending that people make like a $400 investment here, like to go buy this album and a turntable?
Well, you can just go buy a cheap turntable from Target and start there, and then work your way up.
There you go. So we would all buy this. We are all falling all over this record. So let's get to our ratings on a scale of 1 to 10. Michelle, out of 1 to 10, where do you rate this record?
I'm giving it an 8.
Really? Okay. And what are your detractors from it then?
So, like I said, it's not my favorite Kings of Leon record, and I don't know, like it's not there. Like I said, there's no stinkers on it. I like every song. I just really like Walls better, and so like I can't. I don't know. Like I you know how my grading is wonky, but I just can't give it a high ranking if there's another record by the same band that I like more. So like I feel like Walls is probably like a 9-10 area for me. So like I feel like this is just right under that.
When we come back to you in the album review rotation, you'll just be like, okay, Walls now. And then in that one, you can tell us what's better about that record than this one. You know.
Yeah.
Kyle, where do you got this at on a scale of 1 to 10?
7, 8 between there.
Really? Okay. What's your reasoning on that?
It's just because it is good Southern rock listening music, but I really don't ever go out of my way to listen to a Kings of Leon record. If it comes up, it comes up. I listen to it. I end up enjoying it every single time.
Right on.
But it's just not something that I would pick over something. Like, it's not in my rotation of what I normally would be listening to, you know, either on vinyl or on Spotify or whatever.
Sure.
But it is a fantastic record, and I honestly don't even know what record I would pick that would be a 10 or something like that. I don't even know. I'd have to think about it.
Well, for me, this one is the closest I've come to. I gave this the highest rating of any album that I have reviewed in our series so far. For me, I gave this a 9 out of 10. And the reason, the 1 point it loses is a Kings of Leon issue, not an issue specific to this record, but quit mumbling, dude. Like, that's like an entire point was taken off for the mumbling, because when, like I say, not to keep laboring the point, but when I figure out what the guy is saying, I oftentimes go, damn it, those are great lyrics. And I would really like to know what else he's saying, you know? So
is it because I know Mi Amigo's not on this record, but those are some great lyrics as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go listen to that song.
Well, you know, you can put that one song in addition to this album 4 times on the.
I might have room. We might be able to fit one more track on the Spotify playlist.
Yeah, for sure. So me personally, you know, like I say, I really feel like, even if I was a listener of this show and they put out a tweet that was like, we're going to review this Kings of Leon record, personally, I would have been like, why? You know, like, you know? And so I hope that people coming into this episode, if not, even the people, like you said, that are like, oh God, I'm so sick of them 2 damn songs, you know, like, I hope the way we're talking about the record makes people be like, all right, let me give it a shot, you know, and know that the track listing is constructed the way, in my opinion, the way it should be. Like, Super Soaker is not the best song on this record, but it opens the album to be like, okay, here's some of what you're going to hear, right? And then the album goes up, right?
Yeah, and I think we also dogged their new record so much that I kind of wanted to
do a makeup session.
Oh, I felt bad for Kings of Leon a little bit. So I was just like, let's pick a record.
Well, you notice they haven't promoted the new album at all. I have to assume that word got to them about our thought on the album. So.
Are you kidding? Do you follow them on social media?
Do they just post about us all the time?
About us, yes. That's specifically what I was.
No, I don't. Why are they promoting the record constantly? Is that what you're?
They've been promoting it for a long time, but it's in the very like artsy-fartsy way. Like, they have a whole bunch of black and gray like stills of them doing the record, and they're like, "Oh, look, our new record's out. Like, go listen to it. Find us on tour." Or better yet, they'll just post pictures and nothing in the captions. So you're just like, oh, cool.
Hey, you know what they should have spent a lot more time on instead of messing with all that? Making a better album.
I was going to say speech classes.
Yeah.
Young gentlemen.
Yeah, work on your pronunciation.
To further the point, if you haven't listened to Kings of Leon in a long time, and you're like, oh, I just seen they put out a new record, do not say that. Please go back and listen to the older stuff that they've made, and then you can work your way up to being disappointed by the new album.
Yeah.
Or if you like the new album, then just stop.
Yeah. If you like the new record, then you're not going to like anything else, because the other material is far different.
Yeah, it's different. It was different enough that like you're going to be like, well, you probably just won't like it, and all the rest of their stuff is the same. Yep. Which, you know, I know we dog on some other bands for doing it, but I don't know. The Kings of Leon makes it work for me, and that's what I want. I want another Kings of Leon sounding record.
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, the Kings of Leon has a specific sound, and they mastered that, and they do it incredibly well, and I'm not sure what the hell happened with the new record.
They spent a lot of time on the art. we already covered that. I kid. So anyways, that is our wrap up on our album review, and I know all the listeners are getting excited that we're going to inch slowly closer to our listeners laying an album on us, and I know Michelle's super excited about that. So every other week, we're going to inch closer to that. Next week, our main topic is going to be Record Store Day in general. We're not going to talk about this specific Record Store Day that is happening between the time you hear this episode and the next one. But we're going to talk about Record Store Day in general, which I think is really cool because the three of us on the show have very varying degrees of how involved we've been with Record Store Day over the years. So I think that's going to be a fun discussion. It's not going to be just here's our thoughts on, this list for this day or whatever. It's going to be just a discussion on Record Store Day in general. So I think that's going to be fun. So we will have that for you next week. In the meantime, if you have any sort of feedback for us, like I said earlier, please make sure to hit us up on the socials. We love getting that feedback and love sharing it with everybody else. Or even better than that, you can leave us a voicemail at 313-364-9899. That is everything we have for you guys this week, and next week we will have that Record Store Day discussion for you. In the meantime, like we always say, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
The Infectious Grooves podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.